Okay. Um, so like I said, these people are always going to try to find ways to create disturbing things. And when I mean disturbing, is try to manipulate somebody to create some disturbing pedophilia type of tormenting. What you're seeing here is a movie. It's a foreign movie, and I blurred the top because actually at that moment is sexual moments in this movie. They've done so much horrible things to me, but one thing they like to do is play with my libido. Play with my libido, and I wake up with high libido, and they used to play. What they do with my libido is they aim that libido and aim it toward children. Make me think of children in a sexual way, plus cranking up my libido to create this merging of sexual thoughts about children, pedophilia type of torture, as you've heard before. It's the nasty things they've done, and it's non-stop. And so what I try to do is try to release my libido in order for them to not play my libido in these pedophilia ways. But in the midst of doing that, they find ways to try to still break me down. And sometimes they can influence me to do things where they can orchestrate something to mess with me. So I don't like to watch porn. I don't like that because I don't think it's healthy. I do watch it, but I don't like it. So I decided to, and as they try to do some battle in my head, it's nasty. And so I try to watch. If I need to release myself, what I prefer now is to watch maybe a movie scene where there's sexual acts, and then that could be, it's better than actual porn, because it's not actually real and it's just not as graphic. So I decided to watch a movie where there's sexual act in it, and they mess with me. They start messing with me, even at the beginning, because my attention is releasing myself and hopefully have lower libido. But what they've done to me is to try to find ways to disturb me during that moment. So in this movie, this is like a foreign movie, and there's a specific scene when there's a sex scene, right? But actually, they start messing with me because before the sex scene starts, there's a father. He goes to say goodnight to his child. The baby's like, you can barely see the child. You just see like a little head hanging there, and he just gives a kiss to the head and goes into the room where there's this woman, and they have this sex scene. They start stimulating me, like when they're like when the father was giving a kiss to this child's head, that you can barely see. It was so nasty. I was like, oh, you nasty low lives. And I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna try to block that out. And so I watched the sex scene. I tried to make myself release, but it's not easy. Like, it's just so much going on. They do so much to my brain. It's so hard. But what you're seeing here is the sex scene on top. But at the bottom, because I'm watching it on this like Amazon thing, they show the cast of the different different actors. And so I didn't realize that I wasn't paying attention. I was focusing on the sex scene. And at the end, what, the sex scene ends. I'm like, okay, so I'm not, I'm still like in a vulnerable state, but it's just like, I guess it's not gonna happen. And before I just change, whatever I was watching, I looked down to look at the cast, just because it's just down there, and I see the child there. And of course, they're the one who made me look at this child at the moment, just to mess with me because I'm in a vulnerable state. I was like, oh, nasty, so nasty. To try to mess with me, I was like, immediately when I see that kid, I make this noise. It's like, oh, this is so nasty, so disgusting. They were doing this thing to try to disturb me because I'm in this vulnerable state. And they always try to flip things into something pedophilia centric. It's so nasty because my brain now, they can make me imagine of children when I'm watching, whatever that's, or even when I'm having sexual moment with a woman, they make me try to think about children. It's so disgusting to train my brain in these pedophilia ways. It's conditioning but it's so foul. This is the things they've done. And in the midst of me speaking about that, they tell me I'm going to be raped, I'm going to torture, because they want me to identify with the things they make me experience. And this is why I make these videos, because they want you to be like, oh, you see, that's proof. You see, we proved it. It's over. As if like it was not over when I was playing this program. If anything, now, if anything, it's going to end with more validation on my end, because the reality is, as they do these things, as you see here, these people, the entities that contract these bottom feeders, are actually pedophiles. They're doing child porn on the government devices, while they make me look at a child while I'm watching this sex scene, so they can create some pedophilia things, or try to create children and make in this state in a sexual way, so they can create this pedophilia, like train me to think about children in a sexual way. In my mind, they're like, oh, but remember when you were a kid. This is the things they have to do to say. And then they like to tell themselves they are at war, because that's the kind of foul things they have to do. Of course, it's not war, but that's what they're supposed to do.